Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Wife Neighbor Brozos, and today we are talking about Star Wars, and more specifically, the Star Wars prequels. So, without further ado, let's get into this. So, if you guys don't know, or you're new to the channel, or you've just not been paying attention, I'm an absolutely huge Star Wars fan, and that is even putting it lightly. If you were to ask me a question like, why do you like Star Wars so much, or what is Star Wars, after I was done telling you, would be deaf, because I would talk so much about it, you would not be able to hear afterwards. That's how much I love Star Wars. And that is stating it lightly. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about the prequels. Now, one thing I noticed about the prequels is, with many Star Wars fans, is they say they don't like the prequels. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to say my opinion, and as far as I think, and I've been liking Star Wars for 10 years, since I was 5 years old, and I know a lot about it, and pretty much, I'm just going to say this is my opinion, this is what I believe to be the truth is, if you don't like the prequels, then you're just not a true Star Wars fan, because you can love Star Wars and just absolutely love it and adore it and like everything about it, but if you don't like the prequels, I mean, you're not a 100% Star Wars fan, you're like a 97% or a 95% Star Wars fan, and I know that I'm probably going to get comments on this video of people that are much older than me, like in their 20s and maybe even older, saying, I knew Star Wars back when it was the beginning, or I knew Star Wars before you were born, you little pipsqueak. Stuff like that. I don't care. Quite frankly, I don't care. And the reason I don't care is because I don't care if you're born before me, or if you're been liking Star Wars longer than me. I'm not saying I know everything about it, and I don't. I know most about it. I know pretty much everything about it, but I don't know everything about it. So, um, I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm like the know-it-all, but I kind of am like a know-it-all when it comes to this, because I don't know it all, but I know, like, 90% of it. And I took a couple quizzes on the internet. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, um, so there, of course, will be older fans and more original fans than from before I was born, saying how they think that you don't need to like the prequels to like Star Wars, which is a very true statement. You don't need to like the prequels to like Star Wars, you know? You don't need to like an album to like a band. I like Green Day, but I seriously dislike the album American Idiot, you know? So, it's like that. And I guess someone could say to me, you're not a true Green Day fan because you don't like American Idiot. And that's, I would have no other choice but to agree with that. Because how do you argue with that? That's logic, you know? It's common, not common sense, yeah. It's logic, just common logic. If I don't like American Idiot, then I'm not a true Green Day fan. And it doesn't mean I'm not a Green Day fan, it just means I'm not their biggest fan. And I'm not their biggest fan, but I am a fan. But anyways, back to Star Wars. It's the same concept with Star Wars, and the same as it is with the Green Day thing. If you like Star Wars, and you love Star Wars, you love it to pieces, but you don't like the prequels. How can you not like the prequels? I mean, they're LucasArts too. I mean, you see top on the left, that's Hayden Christine, and that top left, and then in the bottom left, that's Padme, who we all know who she is. You forgot her name? Did not forget her name. I remember her name. Uh, Uh, no, guys, I did not forget this. Padme is Natalie Portman. I actually did not forget that. I'm just scaring y'all. But, anyways, you got, like, Jango Fett and all those guys over there. And all these characters, and James L. Lewis, I think his name is, who is Mace Windu right there, and, above Obi-Wan. And, just pretty much what this video is about is, if you don't like the prequels, you can't really call yourself either the number one fan or one of the number one fans. And this may just be like when I grew up, when these movies came out, like the prequels were like 2005, 2006 kind of area, and I was just like, I was 6 years old in 2006, and yeah, and so, I was just like coming into this, and I said I liked it when I was 5 years old. I saw A New Hope, and my dad introduced it to me, and I absolutely loved it, and I just could not take my eyes from the Star Wars experience because it's just so much fun. And they say people with big imaginations like very intricate things, and I have an intricate imagination. When I was little, I had these toys. This one toy, I called it Rarazzo. That's its name. It's a Thai Beanie Baby. I literally created like just stories and like lives and like made him like he was like a teenager. Like he had an Xbox, he had a DS, he had everything. The life that I was like not really able to have because it was like I wasn't allowed to have like Xboxes and stuff when I was little. So I was kind of like, well, they were just too much. They cost too much, and I never really bought one. But anyways, I wasn't really like. I didn't really have a lot of stuff, you know. The coolest thing to me was a DS, and then an iPod, and then after I found out after a while, the coolest thing out there in technology is probably just like, you know, a laptop where you can get any kind of like software. But anyways, we're not talking about software, we're talking about Star Wars. And when I was little, I was like so into like my toys and everything. And me and my sister, who's in college now, we would play with them things. And we would like now to this day, I feel like it was like college years. Like I'm thinking back to like my college years, like the good old days, you know? That's kind of like how I'm thinking, almost like it actually existed. And I love that. And that was how big my imagination was. And my imagination is very big now. So, you know, I can write books. I'm writing a book right now, Legions of Hammeroth. There you go. It's gonna be out sometime next year. But yes, I'm writing a book called Legions of Hammeroth. You know, I know so much about Star Wars that I can I would not be able to tell you in one day. It would take like, you know, years. It took me 10 years to know, and I'm still learning. I learned some stuff today, you know? And we're all still learning, said the teacher. But anyways, to just pretty much tie things up, if you don't like the prequels, you're not a number one. You're not like up in like the top uh 20 fans. I consider myself to be in the top 20 fans, and that's not 20 people. That's like 20 billion people. That's a lot of people. But I'm in the top 20, maybe top 15 of the biggest Star Wars fans, and if you don't like the prequels, you just can't be in that top 15 because, you know, I'm sorry. Because, and even if I know you're going to be like, well, I'm older than you and you can't say that, well, doesn't mean you know more than me if you're older than me, and it might mean that. And if you do, I think that's awesome. And that kind of person like knows more about Star Wars than me, I think is awesome because, you know, I can learn from them and they know more and they're like I stuff in common with them. And they're probably still learning too because, you know, Force Awakens, Rogue One, they're still coming out with this stuff. But just to tie things up, my favorite prequel movie of Star Wars is Revenge of the Sith, and my favorite original Star Wars movie is A New Hope. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that video of me just kind of ranting and just talking about Star Wars, and I'm just basically getting my thoughts out there instead of like making this super like constructed like Star Wars theory or like that. It's going to be constructed, but it's just like this is just me getting my thoughts out about Star Wars and Star Wars fans all over the globe. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you're a fellow Star Wars fan, let me know in the comments. If you like this video, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a like anyways, because why the heck not? If you like the prequels like I do, leave a comment. If you don't like the prequels, don't be mean, because the prequels are awesome. And let me know your favorite Star Wars movie, or if you like Star Wars at all. And if you don't like Star Wars, you shouldn't be watching this video. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'm going to be doing a lot of videos about Star Wars, like coming up, and also no more Pingini. I think I'm probably not going to call myself Pingini anymore. I'm going to try to stick more to like my actual real name, just because I think it's more fun, and I just like calling myself, you know, Wyatt instead of Pingini, because I'm just kind of getting tired of like calling myself Pingini, and I just think Wyatt is cooler because it's my original name. So thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, watch Star Wars. If you haven't seen it before, watch it. If you don't want to watch it, watch it. If you think it's dumb, watch it, because Star Wars is not dumb. And if you say Star Wars is dumb, I will find you. Nah, I'm just kidding. You don't have to like Star Wars, but if you don't, I don't like you. So if you don't like Star Wars, I don't like you. If you don't know about it, then that's a different story. But then again, I'm rambling, and I could go on for the rest of the year, the rest of the decade, I could go on till Jesus comes back, and I'd be talking, I'd be like, then Jango Fett, and I'd be like, wait, I gotta go to heaven. so that's just a little bit about how much I like Star Wars. Sadly, I don't think Star Wars will be in heaven, but heaven's better than Star Wars, so you know. And now we end the video with a spiritual conversation. Heaven is better than Star Wars. But the moons of Diego. There are angels on the moons of Diego. Ha! Phantom Menace reference. Phantom Menace reference. Okay, I guess.